Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of my Gateway Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. I call the Gateway Experience a scientific, repeatable process of self discovery, self exploration, and self mastery. It consists of 36 tapes in total, so that's 6 waves, and there's 6 tapes in each wave for that total of 36. And we are currently on the second wave, and we are on the fourth tape called Color Breathing. So we're slowly but surely making our way through the entire process here. It's going to be about 360 episodes, and this is the 8th time doing this tape of Color Breathing. And I know that the last 2 videos didn't have any audio, and I didn't even go back before I recorded this one to check if any other videos didn't have audio, but I'm so sorry about that. I must have, when I updated my OBS here that I used to record, it must have reset my microphone to nothing, and I should have noticed, so it's my fault. Thank you to my viewer Principalities for pointing that out to me. So otherwise, I would have never known. Maybe I would have never found out, and I would have just kept recording. So thank you so much. Now I can see that there's like an audio input capture here, and it's showing me the volume. I've seen that before, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't paying attention. So if you haven't seen any of my other videos other than those 2, go ahead and check those out. That way, you can get caught up to speed and see where we started and where we are now. So let's get straight into it. Today, it is a Sunday, November 13th, 2022, and it is 6:48 a.m. Woke up this morning at 5 a.m., and it feels amazing. I feel so good. I can't even believe how much energy I have. It's a completely something that I just didn't think about until now. I don't know. I thought it was almost not that it was impossible, but I didn't realize how quickly I would adapt to this whole thing simply by consistently setting the intention and talking about it in these videos, and you'll see, and just being able to do it by myself feels amazing, because before I used to be held accountable by somebody else, but now I'm holding myself accountable, which is just so much more empowering. And that's basically what I've talked about in the last 2 videos. And sorry about that again, but what I'll basically do is I will reiterate briefly the things that I talked about in those 2 videos, and then maybe add on a little bit to this video. So yeah, woke up at 5 and then went ahead and did my morning routine. Then went ahead and did that color breathing tape. I also went ahead, and something that I talked about in the previous videos is about the timing. Usually I would be sitting down, since I woke up at 5, I'd be sitting down at like 6:30. But I also went ahead and upgraded my hard drive and my storage for my computer, so that way I can keep making videos and have it all stored here without needing a backup. I just gotta remember to make sure that there's audio to it. So yeah, and that's why it took me like maybe 2 minutes. I had to order the parts and everything. Not 2 minutes, maybe like 10 to 20 minutes. But I had to order the parts and everything, and I spent a little bit of time online looking at different options, and then went ahead and did some stuff last night, and then went ahead and did some stuff this morning as well, very, very briefly. So my goal really is to just be able to wake up immediately, do my morning routine, read through all my scrolls and everything, and then go ahead and sit down an hour and 30 minutes after I wake up and do these videos. So that's a big goal for me, to really iron it out. And I think any faster than that would just maybe be too sympathetic nervous system I would want to be more in my parasympathetic nervous system and be thinking creatively than anything else. And so, but maybe we'll see what happens as I become more and more consistent moving forward. So Um, yeah, we also talked about the different colors and about how this system and something that I noticed in the purple. So we go from green in the color breathing tape, and this is the 8th time doing it once again. So we go from the color green to the color red to the color purple, and he basically just tells us 2 times each time, so for a total of 6 times, exactly how to do it step by step. And what we do is we close our eyes, we breathe in, hold our breath, and as we hold our breath, we think of the color. And for the red one, we want to think of the action that we're going to get ready to do and the color red, and that will give us greater strength, greater speed, and and better coordination, perfect coordination for us to be able to do the task. Then when we go into the green is all about balance. It's about flushing out the energies. And so we want to focus on the color green and allow it to just flush all that energy out of the bottoms of our feet. And then color purple is all about healing and balance. Okay, so we talk about healing and balance, and we want to focus on that, and then we want to direct that color purple energy to whatever body part we want to be focused on to be able to heal and to balance and to bring back to normal awareness and consciousness. Maybe let's say you injured something or something like that. And another thing that I talked about is using our imagination. That was the most recent video. And that is really what this is all about. One could say that the secret to alchemy is the imagination, literally transmuting lead into gold. That is the basic function that is mostly misused and abused and allowed to atrophy in the human resource is the imagination, the imagination. Really, it's all about being able to see with our minds the path for your life called a vision, but also a solution to a problem. And something that's very important for me personally that I think has allowed me to increase my imagination has been anime, animated films, okay? Characters hand drawn, mostly coming out of Japan. Now, Netflix has come out with their own and popularized the genre as well, but that's really all because of this traction that was built by the Japanese people. Now, the Japanese people are like half the size, the country is half the size of Texas, okay? And imagine the worldwide impact that they have had. And I think a lot of that has to do with their imagination and their goal setting, okay? And what they do is the main one that I want to talk about is the one that does use color breathing that literally directly relates. They talk about this in one of their animes. It's called Demon Slayer. I love that anime. I think it's amazing, and you should watch it if you haven't seen it already. And it is a little bit different. The anime, that the color breathing that they do in that anime, they go through the elements, and we are just going through color. Okay, so they go through like fire, earth, air, and water, and we go into red, right, which could be seen like as fire. Green, which could be seen as earth, and grounding, right, with the energies and flushing of the emotions. And then water can be seen as purple, and water is very associated with healing properties. But if you watch that, you'll be able to really expand your imagination and see everything that is really possible. Because when it comes to that, I know that it's not real, okay? And we watch a lot of movies, and they're not real. They're not real people. They're just actors, okay? Even the most realistic movies are not real. They're just actors, but we get so much, it's called an allegory. We get a lesson or a series of lessons out of the story. And that is because of the dynamics between the relationships. And that is all that our lives are about. It's all about relationships. As human beings, as people, how we relate to one another will dictate our lives, the direction of our lives. Okay, and another thing that I talked about in the video that was not the previous one, but the one before that, was empowerment. Okay, it was about being empowered and not giving away your power by blaming other people, but really taking full responsibility within ourselves and saying, hey, look, everything is my fault. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. That's not to say that I'm flawed, but it's to say that, hey, I am able to influence my environment in any kind of way. That gives me all the resourcefulness that I need. It's all within me. If I need to solve a problem, I can use my imagination. Okay, it starts there. Because if you just keep giving away, and it's like not using the muscle at all, it's like not even showing up to the gym to lift the weight, you'll never use your imagination, therefore it will never grow, right? So that is why I think that that anime, especially this Demon Slayer, directly correlates to what we're talking about here is color breathing, and they use it for certain fight scenes and different things and different superpowers that they have, and we have similar things because we are more than our physical body, and it's all about being able to use that to transmute any kind of negative situation into a positive experience. Another thing that we've talked about recently in these videos. So just recapping everything basically, alchemy is all about seeing your obstacles. If you are somebody that is facing any kind of difficulty, don't run away from it, or maybe you should run away from it. Okay, it all depends on the situation. I don't want to be like the person that's giving advice or anything like that. I just want to give you fuel for you to be able to come back into your power. So if you find yourself in a certain situation where you feel like there's no way out, maybe you feel like it's just overwhelming. One thing, if you can't leave that situation, if you can't go and be independent by yourself, then lean into it. Maybe lean into it because if it's difficult for you to even imagine the color purple for healing purposes, then maybe you should just go through it. And by leaning into it, by allowing yourself to go into that, you will be able to rise above it by simply remaining conscious and aware instead of fighting, because fighting and resisting will only perpetuate this cycle and will just get you further into the red, the lower level frequencies. So, but yeah, ultimately we want to be in the middle, which is the balance point, which is the green. And that's really where we want to be at, because from that we can create. That's what color that nature uses to create. If you look outside, like I'm looking right now, I can see the grass is green, the leaves are green, the trees are green. Most of this picture that I'm looking at outside is literally green. If I was to look outside right now and I didn't see any green, I would probably be sad. Like just physiologically, subconsciously, I would probably be sad. And not only that, but then it would probably be not many resources out here. I probably wouldn't have as much oxygen. Okay, it'd be harder to breathe because I wouldn't be receiving all the oxygen that I'm receiving from these amazing green trees. Okay, so just remember these. These are tools to be used to empower ourselves, to lead our lives. If we find ourselves in a difficult situation where we are maybe being drowned out, we can just close our eyes, come back to our power, take a deep breath, and use. What do you need to do? Do you need to really tackle this physically? Then lean into it. Don't allow it to be used. Don't allow yourself to be used, but just use the color red, okay? And then tackle that physical thing that you might need to do. Or if you want to just come back to that balance point, do the same thing, but think of the color green. And then if you want to go even higher and heal something that might have been damaged, think of the color purple. Now we can look around, and a pattern that I noticed personally is when I was in like when I was smoking a lot of marijuana, okay? And now I haven't smoked marijuana like in a little bit. It's been quite a little bit. And I made that video where I took that slight little puff out of that pen out of my parents' house, and I talked about how that did increase my imagination, but it was an out of control imagination. So that's why it's important. What I was going to say is that if we go too far into the purple, which I did notice, it's like kind of just leaving Earth and just like, right, the green groundedness. It's like not being grounded. It's just like leaving and just going into outer space, which is a great. Okay, it's amazing. It can definitely bring you back to your traveling sense. But we are living here on Earth as well, so I think it's important to be grounded. When I was smoking a lot of marijuana, the people that I interacted with, I noticed that a lot of them, and even including myself, I was attracted to that color purple. I thought it was great. I thought it was like my favorite color, and I was attracted to that color frequency. And I wasn't the only one. Other people were also that way. And I think the main reason why is because subconsciously they have trauma, okay? They have something that they know that they're trying to heal. And so that's why they're so attracted to that color. And then after they heal, I think that's great. Everybody has to go through that cycle, and once they're healed, I think it's important to go back to that center of green, so that we can create here on Earth and make an impact. Maybe we can leave some amazing pyramids behind, okay, that will last through generations. So anyway, I think that's what I've got for today. If you want to communicate with me, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.